Welcome to Bus Notes. I'm Vinnie Nardiello. I'm a teacher and a comedian, and you're a student who hasn't done the reading. But don't worry, I have. I'll get you caught up. It's Bus Notes. We're looking at The Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway. Here are 5 things you'll need to know about The Old Man and the Sea so your teacher doesn't smell blood in the water. Number 1, people to know. This book takes place in Cuba, and our main character, the old man, is Santiago. He's a fisherman who's past his prime and hasn't caught a fish in 84 days. He's going to be referred to mainly as the old man. His apprentice is Manolin. Manolin is known as the boy. Okay, he's the boy. So we have the old man and the boy. And our final character is an 18-foot marlin. When they talk about the fish, they mean him. He's the fish. Number 2, luck. In the beginning of the book, we learned that Santiago has been labeled Salao, S-A-L-A-O. It's a Spanish word meaning the worst of the bad luck, okay? The worst kind of bad luck that there is. I'm probably not saying it correctly, Salao. So, correct my Spanish in the comments. Let me know how bad it is. To the point that Manolin has been forbidden by his parents to fish with Santiago anymore in fear that the bad luck would rub off on him. People talk about luck in this book. However, Santiago is not a believer in luck. He believes that life is about skill, not luck. However, he's willing to accept that he's unlucky. He's willing to accept what people say about him, that he's unlucky, because to not accept that he's unlucky would mean that he's a bad fisherman, and that's something that he's not going to accept. Number 3, respect. I've always seen this story as the classic sports story. That's Santiago, okay? He's once a great fisherman who now is past his prime, but needs to find it in himself to bring in that fish, to bring in the fish one last time. In fact, they talk about Joe DiMaggio throughout the story, the Yankee great Joe DiMaggio. When this book was written, Joe DiMaggio was nearing the end of his career. He was battling injuries. However, he still had to show up and play every day. He still had to find it in himself to battle through those injuries and be the Yankee great that he once was. Santiago was the same way. He goes out and he snags this giant marlin, this 18-foot marlin, and he fights it for 2 days, and he respects this fish. He respects this fish for the fact that it put up such a battle, to the point that he doesn't think anybody should even be awarded this fish. Nobody's worthy of this great fish. But he brings it in, gets it to the side of his boat, and as he goes back to shore, it starts getting eaten. This fish gets eaten by sharks. There's the Shark Week tie-in, okay? So the sharks destroy this fish, and this man who has come to believe that maybe he is unlucky is left there with nothing other than the respect for himself that he was still able to bring in this fish. And when he comes back home and he's tired and bloody and worn out after this battle, the other fishermen see an 18-foot fish carcass. And now they finally respect Santiago again, and he has come to respect himself. Number 4, destroyed but not defeated. The most famous quote in this book is that a man can be destroyed but not defeated. And that's how Santiago lives his life. At the end of the book, he's left with no fish. His hands are bloody, worn out. He's tired, but he's going to go out fishing the next day. Why? Because he's not defeated. All right? A man can lose everything. He can be totally destroyed, but as long as he's willing to still keep on fishing, he's not defeated. It's a model that looks great on a wall or in a really bad tattoo. Number 5, Hemingway's writing style. Hemingway's background was as a journalist. He brings that newspaper writing style to all his work. It's very short, simple sentences. The idea behind newspaper style writing is that anybody can understand this. People of various educational backgrounds, ages, ethnic groups, they're going to read this newspaper and be able to understand it, okay? So Hemingway brings that style in. The sentences are very short, clipped, lacking in pretension, and as a result, he's considered among the most accessible of all the great authors. Bonus, Hemingway was an avid outdoorsman, and fishing was one of his great passions. One time, in order to keep a school of sharks away from his catch, he opened fire on them with a machine gun. Yeah, there's another Shark Week tie-in for you. Also, he held the world record for marlin fishing, bringing in 7 marlin in one day. And that's it for our special Shark Week edition of Bus Notes. Any books you want us to cover in the future, be sure to leave us a comment, follow us on social media, subscribe, tell your friends about us. Come on, let's get that sea together.